Hello friends, and what's up, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sofia Paschero. I am a DACA recipient. I am a low-income first-generation college student, and now I'm currently entering my second year in the PhD program at Texas Christian University. So I'm really excited about today's video because I've been getting so many questions about this on TikTok, and I feel that when I was doing my undergrad, I didn't know about a lot of this stuff and I had to just figure it out myself. But I also had a great mentor who sort of guided me about knowing about all this stuff. So hopefully this video will be really helpful for those of you who are undergrads and are considering going to graduate school, or if you already graduated and you're still thinking about grad school and how you're gonna pay. I hope this video will help you. Please make sure you like my video and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, let me just get started. So I have my notes right here. So I'm looking down a lot. It's also almost midnight and I'm really tired. So I'm trying to push through. So I'm sorry if there's not a lot of energy being projected right now, but let me get started. So for grad school is considered doing a master's degree and a doctoral degree. I already received my master's degree from the University of South Florida. And like I said earlier, I am currently about to enter my second year at TCU. And some of the questions that I'm getting on TikTok, I want to address two things. So let me address this and then I will talk about how I paid my master's and how I'm currently paying my doctorate. So what I'm being asked on TikTok is about loans. If I've ever taken out a loan, if I recommend any loans as a DACA recipient. So DACA recipients cannot qualify for federal aid loans, and we can qualify for private loans, but you have to think that private loans have higher interest rates. So my experience, I have never taken out a loan. My goal is to not take out a loan because I don't want to be in debt. And let me tell you, when I graduated with my master's degree and I had to do a survey at the end about my experience at my university and, my master's program, at the end, it asked me how much debt I was in. And it was just such a relief to just put I had zero debt. Zero debt as a DACA recipient is crazy. And my friends who are US citizens were over 60K in debt, which blows my mind. But some of my friends didn't do what I did as an undergrad. So there's a lot of differences between us. The one thing I do want to let you know, if you're considering taking out a loan, my advice is take this with a grain of salt. Don't take out a loan. Every single professor that has helped me through this experience into graduate school has told me not to take out a loan because you just don't want to be in all that debt. And think about, like, you're going to graduate, get the degree, and then you go into the workforce and you have to just start paying all that money back. And let me give you like a short story example. So my former roommate and I were classmates. We both graduated at the same time, and when graduation was about to come, she got an email from federal aid, and they basically told her, like, hey, graduation's coming by this date. You need to start paying back your loans, and we are requesting that you pay back $500 every month. She almost had a heart attack. And I don't know how she figured it out, but she was able to fix it so that she could pay $100 a month back. It made sense because she didn't have a job right after we graduated, so she didn't have the money. But afterwards, like, it's a loan. Like, you have to pay it back. You just can't keep putting it off. So that's what a lot of people keep forgetting about this. It's you borrowed money. You have to think about that. If you're taking out a loan, you're borrowing money. It's not your money to keep. A scholarship, a grant, that's different. Like, that's your own money that they are giving you, that they're not asking for anything back. But a loan is different. A loan is not for you. Like, It's to help you with school, but you have to pay it back. It's not your own money. So keep that in mind. The other question was about scholarships. So I highly encourage people to apply for scholarships when they are in graduate school. But a scholarship, think about a scholarship is a couple $100s, maybe a little over $1,000. And that goes just so many places so far when you're an undergrad. That can pay your tuition, that can pay your books, like that can do a lot for you. In graduate school, it doesn't do a lot for you. My master's, 1 year, my master's with tuition and stipend, it was over $30,000. So $1,000 would be really helpful for me if I am buying books. Basically per class, I read about 15 books just in that class. So it's really helpful for that. But for tuition purposes, it would have not been beneficial for me. So I still recommend find scholarships just so that you can pay that little stuff. I will say I did get a scholarship last year, and I got it through Phi Alpha Theta, the National Honor Society for Historians. So I was part of this organization, and I also worked for the organization. And they had a doctoral scholarship that I didn't know about. And I applied for the doctoral scholarship and I got it. And I got $1,000, which was really nice because it helped me buy my books. So I do recommend look into organizations within your field. And if you become a member, see what type of scholarships they have and apply to those. Because sometimes people don't know about those scholarships in those organizations. So I think that's why I got the scholarship, because not a lot of people applied. So be aware of that. Like, look for honor societies within your field, and become a member. Like the membership for my organization for historians was a $50 lifetime membership. So I don't have to pay it yearly. So think about that. Like, there are scholarships out there, but I highly recommend looking for societies and programs and organizations that can give you extra financial help. Okay, so this is the big thing. This is what paid for me to go to graduate school, to get my master's and my doctorate. So I'm gonna be going a little bit back and forth, so follow me along on this little journey. So basically, the graduate assistantship is what paid everything for me. So a graduate assistant can be a graduate teaching assistant. Graduate teaching assistants basically are assigned to a professor, and you help a professor grade papers or final exams or midterms. You come to class, take notes, whatever the professor needs, you are their assistant. You are their teaching assistant. There's also the graduate research assistants. If there's professors in the field that are doing their own research, you're basically helping them, you're assisting them with their own research. But it really depends on the program that you're applying to and the department that you're applying to. So my graduate assistantship at the University of South Florida, I was always a teaching assistant. I never became a research assistant. They just needed me to become a teaching assistant, and that's what I did. At TCU, one semester I was a teaching assistant, and last semester I was a research assistant. So it switched up on me. But this is basically the graduate assistantship is what's going to pay for graduate school. So let me kind of take you through that process of how you do that. When you are in the process of applying for a master's or a doctorate, in the online application itself, it will ask you if you want to be considered for the graduate assistantship. Make sure you check yes, check that box that you do want that. They might ask you to write a separate essay. It really depends on the university, that application, the program, and their application process. So make sure that you check the box that you do want to be considered. And if they ask you for an essay to say, why do you need this money? Tell them why you need it. Explain that you're a DACA recipient, that you do not qualify for federal aid. You can't get federal loans. This is why you need it. You also want it for the experience. So, do the best that you can if they ask you for an essay. Now, if the application does not say anything about the graduate assistantship, this is my advice to you. I recommend that you reach out to the department that you're applying to, reach out to the chair of the department. If the chair doesn't respond, reach out to the graduate director of the department. If the graduate director does not respond, reach out to graduate studies. And if you're not getting a real clear, solid answer, reach out to another professor within the department that you're applying to. But I would suggest first reach out to the chair, then reach out to the graduate director. And ask them, say, hi, I'm applying to your program for the master's and I'm going through the application process and I don't see anything about a graduate assistantship. Is that a separate application that I need to do? And they will respond back, yes, you need to do a separate application. This is where you'll find it, or they'll send it to you. Or, what's going on? Oh, I'm sorry. Or they might say, no, there's no separate application. When you are applying to our program, you're being considered for the graduate assistantship. So that means you don't have to do anything. But I highly recommend you do this. I highly recommend you grab a notebook, and if you're applying to several graduate programs, you write the name of the school, what they're asking for you, how many letter recommendations, writing samples, personal statements, whatever it may be, and track all of this, because you could literally get lost of emails and responses, and you don't want to mess this up. So you want to be as organized and clear and concise about this. So if they say, no, you don't need to worry about it, then you don't need to worry about it. They're going to consider you for the graduate assistantship. Now, this is the main step that I feel that people don't comprehend about this situation. So, getting into grad school, it's not the same process as doing an undergrad, as doing an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. The application process is completely different. When you apply, you might not get in. And let me tell you, a master's program, they might let in 10 to 12 students, and probably like 100 could apply to that program. A doctorate program, they could let in 4 to 6 students, and probably 500 people are applying to it. So graduate school is extremely competitive. And I'm not trying to say that to crush your dreams. Listen, I applied for my doctorate the first round and I didn't get in. And I applied to 9 programs and I didn't get in. The second time I applied to 12 programs and I only got into 1, and one that gave me an offer. So I just want to be realistic with you. It is an extremely competitive process. Like, you also have to be very aware and know, like, this is what you want to do. Like, you have to be sure that this is what you want to do, because the master's is 2 years for the most part. It's 2 years. A doctorate can be 4, 5, 6 years. Like, you are like head on going into this, and there's no, I want to take a break, like a semester break. There's none of that. That's not graduate school. Like, you are on track because of the offer that they're giving you. So let me explain the offer. When you get accepted, like, if you get accepted, that's amazing and you should celebrate, I'm telling you, because it's so hard to get in. So if you get accepted, that's amazing. Now, when you get that acceptance letter, you should also be getting an offer letter. And if you do not get an offer letter, that's a red flag. And let me tell you why. An offer letter basically is the program saying, we're gonna pay your tuition, your healthcare, your stipend. If you don't get that offer letter and they're saying, no, we can only accept you in our program, we can't give you an offer, this is why it's a red flag. Let's say, I'm just making like an example here. Let's say you get into Harvard, okay? You get into Harvard, they send you your acceptance letter, but you don't get that offer letter. And you're like, well, I got into Harvard, so I'm going to Harvard and it is what it is. I'll find a way to pay for it. You go to Harvard and you find out that your classmates got an acceptance letter and you didn't. And people talk in department, like people will talk in a department. It's going to make you feel some type of way. I've seen this so many times where students don't get offer letters and they went to the program and they're like, well, I can pay it in some way, I can do whatever. And they start to feel some type of way that the program, the department gave the other students an offer letter and they didn't get one. You want to go to a program that not only is accepting you, but is offering to pay for you to school. That means they really want you. If you're not getting an offer letter, it's not good. It means that they don't really care for you to come. Like, yeah, they accepted you, but they're not willing to pay for you to come. You want a program that wants you, that's going to pay for you to come. Okay, so with the offer letter, let's say you got accepted, you get this offer letter. In the offer letter, what it's going to state, it's going to say how much they're going to cover your tuition, how much they're going to cover your healthcare. Believe it or not, you have to have healthcare to go to graduate school. My master's required it, my doctorate required it. So they will cover it, okay? They will give you healthcare. I had United Healthcare at USF, and now I have United Healthcare at TCU. And the last thing that they're going to talk about, which is the main one that all graduate students want to know how much this is the stipend. The stipend is how much you're getting every 2 weeks because you're a teaching assistant, a research assistant, so you're actually working 20 hours a week. So not only are you going to school, but you're working for the department and you're making some money. Not a lot of money, but you're making some money. So I can give a quick example. So when I went and I applied to the University of South Florida and I applied to the University of Central Florida for my master's, both schools accepted me. Both gave me offers, but then I had to look at what exactly were they offering me, and I can go into a separate video about that, of the exact offers. And it made more sense for me to go to the University of South Florida, one, because the offer was so much better, the stipend was higher, the healthcare coverage was higher, and it was a better fit for me of who would have been my perfect advisor and professors that would work with me. So that felt like a better fit for me. Now, I never mentioned this in the video. So this is where some people, they can work with it and not having an offer, but when you are single and you don't have a spouse and you have to just pay everything on your own, like me, it's very important how much you're getting within that offer. So I don't want to go into detail how much my offer is at TCU, because then that opens up to discussion and people with their opinions about my offer, and I don't care. I don't want people to put their opinions about that in my life. But I had to think about my tuition, my healthcare, and then the stipend. I basically uprooted my whole life to Texas. I left Florida and came to Texas by myself. And I live here by myself, paying all these bills by myself. And I had to say to myself, can I live off of this stipend? Is it doable to live off of this stipend? Now, master's students, compared to doctorate students, masters get lower stipends. Doctorates get a little bit higher stipends. That's just very well known in the world of academia. That's just how the ball rolls. So think about that. If you get that graduate assistantship and you are DACA or you're undocumented, you have like the golden ticket. Like that is what you need. Let me tell you, when I applied for my master's, and I feel bad. This is one of my really good friends. So I applied for the graduate assistantship, and I remember the application was separate from the application to the program. And I applied, and I told my friend, I was like, hey, you should probably apply to the graduate assistantship, blah, blah, blah. She said to me, well, I don't think I could do it. I just don't have the time to be able to do it and the money. And I just I don't think I could do it. Okay. I told my friend to do it. She didn't do it. I applied. I get it. And then my friend kind of started kicking herself for not applying because she saw how much they were investing in me, how much money I was getting. And when the second year rolled in our master's program, I had to reapply. Everybody had to reapply. And honestly, it felt like we were all fist fighting each other for the graduate assistantship, which is not cool. But when a department or university doesn't have that much funding, that's what happens. And I got it again, and other people did not get it. And it was kind of sad to see, and it was hard to see, but when I reapplied the second time, I had to say, I have DACA, I don't get federal aid, I don't get loans, and I need this. And if I don't get this a second time, I can't finish my master's degree and I can't come back. And that's just honesty. And they gave it to me. So be as honest as you can with these applications. I know sometimes people don't want to disclose that they have DACA, but I think that honestly, it's going to be better for us if we say we are. It's always worked out in my favor. Whenever I said I was DACA, they knew where to guide me. They weren't going to guide me towards something that I didn't qualify for. So keep that in mind. I think that's it. That's pretty much how I did it. Now, if you have any other questions, please let me know. It's like midnight, almost midnight. I'm so tired. I really try to pull through on this video, so forgive me if I lacked energy, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like this video. See, I'm so tired. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, let me know if you have any more questions, and I'm happy to answer. And if you want me to go into detail about my master's offers, I'm happy to talk to you guys about that. So I will see you guys on my next one. Bye, guys.